Hey guys, Chart Stoppers back with another video. In this channel, we take a look at different stocks and map out their key support and resistance areas on their chart. It's important to know these areas before buying any stock, and it's also important to know what kind of a trend a stock is in before you buy into it. Support and resistance is one of the most important things you should know about a stock before you either buy or sell. Also, if you're doing any day trading, swing trading, or options, you're definitely going to want to get familiar with support and resistance. Just to let you know, I'm not a financial expert. These videos are for educational purposes only, but I am here to point out key factors on the charts which do impact the price action of a stock. I also wanted to provide a link in the description for Webull. You could use that to start an account and get 2 free stocks. I also provided a link for Robinhood. You could use that to start an account and get 1 free stock. Just to let you know, we will be doing 3 videos per week on 3 different stocks, so if you have a recommendation, leave a comment below and I'll try to get to your video. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button so you don't miss out on any new videos. Okay, so let's get into the market today. Today is a pretty bad day in the market. I'm not sure what's going on today. Everything is down, it looks like. The S&P is down 0.06%. The Dow is down 0.23%, and the NASDAQ is down 0.33%. And a lot of these growth stocks that I talk about usually are taking a pretty big hit today. The one I'm talking about today has been taking a very big hit lately. During this correction, it's lost a lot of value. It's lost over 50% of its value from its all-time highs. So let's take a look at what we're talking about today. Today we're going to be talking about Nano Dimension. Okay, and today is April 12th, 2021, and Nano Dimension is currently trading at $7.32. It is down 49 cents today, which is another 6.33%. You could see, let's take a look. The market cap for this company is currently $1.90 billion, and the 52-week high for this company right here, let's see, let me zoom out for you here. I have this zoomed in. You could see the market cap right here is $17, or the 52-week high is $17.89 right here, and they hit that on January 26th of this year. Okay, so not too long ago, they hit their all-time high. You could see they tried to retest it on February 10th and didn't quite make it there, but almost did. They came within a couple cents, it looks like, $17.77 on that day, so within about 10 to 12 cents on this day. So it tried to retest that high about a month later, and it couldn't quite get there, but ever since then, the correction happened, and you saw this stock just fall. You could see right here, it's been falling ever since, and it hasn't stopped falling. So like I said, you lost more than half of your value in this one. If you bought in at the all-time high, you lost, over half of the value. You went from $17.89 to $7.33 right now. Okay, so that's a big drop in price. And really, there was no change in anything with the company. The company didn't change. There was no news that came out that, would have changed anything with investors' point of view. It's just this correction happened, and a lot of people just pulled their money out. There was a lot of momentum coming up here. You could see starting in, it looks like September right here. The end of September of 2020, you could see a lot of momentum got behind this stock. And that was because of ARK Invest started buying up this stock. And there was a lot of hype behind ARK Invest, Kathy Wood and all that. A lot of people were getting in on their trades. And a lot of people were following their ETF and buying whatever they were buying. And you could see just everyone was just buying up this stock, and it made a lot of money for a lot of people. You could see that it just kept going up and up and up, and that's FOMO right there. A lot of people just bought in, fear of missing out. You could see it just kept going up and up, and if you bought in at the top right here, it's bad news because you are stuck right here at the top and it has dropped ever since then. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to put a line at the top. Let me put our, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to put a line at the top for our top resistance point, and that's going to be around here at $17. So we could see if we're going to go back and retest our all-time highs, we're going to want to see this thing break through $17 and close above there, because you could see that it couldn't even close above there when it hit the all-time high. So we're going to want to see this thing close above $17 if it wants to retest this all-time high or even break through that. So let's go over the support and resistance for this one. You could see it hit this all-time high and then it just started dropping ever since February 10th when it tried to retest it on that day. So our first support coming down from there was at around $12.50. You could see right here, that was our first major support line that we had. And it easily broke through that because it wasn't really a strong support. It was, very little support right there. So that easily got broken as we went through this correction. Our next area of support was around this $10 range, okay? And that wasn't really strong support either because when we were on our way up, you didn't really have too much of a fall and you didn't really test that support when it was going up. So you could see right here, it easily got broken as it was coming down also. Okay, so our next area of support coming down from there was in this region where it looked like it bottomed out at on March 5th. You thought this was going to be the bottom, and the bottom looked like it was going to be around $7.50 in here. Okay, so that looked like it was going to be the bottom on March 5th, and it looked like a double bottom around current day right here where it's been trading at lately. Okay, but as you could see, it slipped below this support area today, and I'm not sure if it's just because of a major sell-off that's happening today for no particular reason really. There's not really major news that came out today that would that would have a big sell-off to happen. There's no major catalyst that would cause all these stocks to sell off, or if it's just because of this trend that it's in. I wanted to take a look at these trend lines I have drawn because these are very important to where this stock is trading in right now. So let's take a look at my first trend line I drew. Okay, it's the green one, and this is the uptrend that it's been on since back here where I started it. It was back in September when you saw this thing really take off right here. So you could see I started this trend line back here around September 25th, around this area right here. And I connected it right around this bottom of March 5th. And I kept it going to over in this area right in here. Okay, so I shot it through this, the bottom of this candle right here. And I just kept it going over here. Okay, so that was my uptrend, and that was my trend line that I was expecting it to follow to keep going up if it was going to continue on an uptrend in the future. Okay, now this is my downtrend that I have that I just redrew recently. I also had another downtrend line that I drew right here. I connected this candle, I think, to this. And then I think I drew it. Let me see. I'll redraw it for you, and then I'll show you what happened to that trend line. Okay, so I had this connected to here, and I think it went something like this because it came down here, and yeah, it came down like this. I think it connected somewhere around this region, and I think it went like that. So that was my first trend line that I had drawn for this downtrend that it was on. It was a pretty sharp downtrend, okay, for this correction. And that's what it was following for a while, okay, until it was, let's see the date here. It was March 30th, okay, you could see. It looked like it broke out of this downtrend right here. And you could see we had this big push up, this big gap up in the morning on April 1st, and it looked very promising right in this area right here. Okay, this looked promising because it was looking like it was going to come down to this where these two trend lines were going to meet, and it was going to have to follow one of them. Okay, so it looked like it already broke out of the downtrend, and it was going to just pop right out and continue on the uptrend, or shoot right up. But that was a false breakout, as you could see. Okay, so you could see this trend line I had to erase, and it didn't work out. So I had to draw a new downtrend line, as you could see I have in the red here. Okay, because it did continue to on this downtrend, and it popped right back into this downtrend. It was a false breakout, and it could have cost a lot of money to some people if they thought it did break out of this downtrend, and because of this one day right here where it gapped up in the morning and then it came right back down to close out the day. Okay, and then you could see it just continued on the downtrend, and now it has actually broke our uptrend, and it's trading below our trend line at this current moment. So we'll talk about that right now. Let me get rid of my old trend line right here. Okay, so let's talk about what's happening right now. You could see my new trend line in the red right here, and my green trend line were about to cross right here. So it was going to have to make one of two moves. It was going to have to, like it did on the other trend line, the one I had in the blue, my old trend line for the downtrend, it was going to have to jump above that, or it was going to have to stay, or it was going to have to jump below my green trend line and stay on this downtrend. So it looks like it is staying below the green trend line, and it's going to jump below here and stay on this downtrend for now. Now, there's a couple things that could happen. It could be a false breakout, just like we saw for the uptrend, like we saw when it falsely broke out to the uptrend, and then it jumped back down. This could be a false breakout to the downtrend, and then it could jump back up. And that's what I'm hoping for this one, because there has been a lot of good news that recently came out for this stock. They hired a new, I think it was a CEO for their company, and they do have a lot of cash behind them because of all the direct offerings that they did last year and all the cash offerings they did. Raising money for their company, and I think they have something like $2 billion of cash behind them, and a lot of people think they're going to acquire a company and all that. So a lot of people are expecting big news to come out of this company, and hopefully they do. So if they do come out with some big news, we're expecting a huge jump in price and possibly retesting the all-time highs. But for now, it looks like it's going to continue on this downtrend. So right now, I would be a little bit weary of buying this stock at this current price because it looks like it might continue to go down. So right now, the way I'm going to trade this is I'm going to be watching it the rest of this week just to see if this is just a random market sell-off today causing this to drop out of this trend line. Because if you look at the market today, there is just a lot of red and a lot of stocks just blatantly selling off for no particular reason. I mean, I can't find a real big catalyst that's causing the market to just sell off today on a Monday like this. There wasn't any crazy news that came out over the weekend. There's a news about the chip shortage today that might be causing the market to sell off today. But I really wouldn't think it would cause it to be this bad. I mean, we're talking about this thing's down another 6% today, and it's already been beaten down, over, it looks like 60% of its value since this correction started. So this thing has just been getting crushed lately. And it just looks like it's going to keep going down on this downtrend. So I can't explain it, especially with the good news that they recently came out with, with the new people that they're hiring. So I'm going to be watching it just to see if it does follow this downtrend line. If it keeps following it the rest of this week, then we do have some problems. But if you do see it maybe tomorrow, on 13th of April, maybe pop back up above this green line, then you can see that this was maybe a false breakout to the downside, just like I showed you earlier in the video, the false breakout to the upside that we had, just a couple days ago, or maybe like a week ago that was. So, that's what I'm going to be watching for the rest of this week with this stock. If you're holding it, I wouldn't panic, because you got to remember they do have that $2 billion of cash on hand, and it looks like they're hiring the right people to put in place to do some real big things in the future. And I mean, this is a longer term stock. It doesn't look like for the short term. I mean, it was looking like a short-term stock last year. There was a lot of momentum behind it. But, I mean, this is a longer-term play. It was from the beginning, and it just had a lot of momentum behind it last year, because of the whole Kathy Woods thing and the ARC thing that just, caused it to skyrocket. But this 3D printing thing, it's going to take off, but it's going to take some years. So if you're holding this stock, I would expect, at least a couple years to get this thing going, So I wouldn't panic just yet, but for the short-term people that don't want to have their money sitting in here, I would be watching it this week and just to see what it does, because it is getting close to this 200-day moving average also, which is sitting at $6.06. So that's another thing to watch. If it does keep dropping, you're going to want to watch that, because it might keep dropping all the way to that 200-day moving average, and that would be our next target to watch. And it looks like we do have support right here at around $6.26, so that's going to be pretty close to our 200-day moving average. So let me draw a line in there for everyone just to see our next support. And it looks like it's going to be around here at about, let me move it. It looks like it's going to be right here at around 6. Oh, you can't even see that right now because it's behind the 200-day moving average. It's going to be pretty close to that 200-day moving average. You see I have my line right here at about 6.15, and our 200-day moving average is at about $6.06. So that would be our next support if it does not hold this support we're currently at 759, where I have my line, but the support is at around 750, so I should move that down for you guys. So it's more like 750 where the support is. As you can see right in here, this is where the support is, and it's been holding above the support lately. So that's my video on Nano Dimensions. If you guys liked it, be sure to hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any new videos like this. Check out the links in the description below. And we will see you next time on Chart Stoppers.